Morning, everybody. This is Mike Lung over at Allendale's trading floor. It is Thursday, November 12th. Starting day off with a little bit of red. So as we said, we're going to be looking at this corn market, watching this 409 area as some decent support here today if we do in fact start to slip down into those levels. Across the board, seen some lower trade. Beans are about 20 cents off their highs, but they're also 44 cents off their lows. So we'll talk about the technical picture on beans in a second here. So headline news here today is a lot of this vaccine hopes are sliding by the wayside with Biden continuing to talk about lockdown measures, what we can be expecting, how he is looking at it. And as you see yesterday, there was an advisor saying you could shut the country down and pay people their wages for 4 to 6 weeks in order to revitalize the economy. Whether or not that will actually work is up in the air, but as we saw last time with lockdown, it did not help this economy. So we'll be watching that. Spread activity across the grain suggesting that commercials have booked and are very comfortable with what they have on hand. So expect to see some widening of basis go on. Expect to see some lower cash trade, at least in the short term, maybe just a sideways motion as we're seeing here in the wheat market. But trade's main focus at this point will be the China trade phase one deal and whether or not that gets renegotiated under Biden, and this lockdown measures, whether or not they are going to be reinstated. We're already seeing some states go back into lockdown. Wisconsin very recently did so at request of its governor. As we're watching this corn market, we're seeing a nice uptrend still clearly in place. A little bit of concern with that outside week lower and these tails developing. So watch for potential sideways market at this point. As of that WASI report that we got on Tuesday, it should states that we are a bit underpriced based on what the USDA gave us, but trade does not seem to overly care at this point whether or not we are underpriced or overpriced. They're pricing in about a 1.8 to 1.9 carryout right now, even though we just got a 1.7. So something definitely to be watching here in the meantime. For the bean markets, we are in a very clear uptrend as we continue. Something I do want to point out, much like we talked about a week ago, is this 2016 rally. We chopped through this $10 to $11 mark and then rifled right through $11 to $12. But as you can see, we had some longer tails on those weekly charts with that. So even if we do back this off a bit, the fact that we do have a shaven bottom does not negate the bull at this point. So plenty of room to still run for potentially next good size weekly upside resistance will be that $12 mark, 12.08, the most active. For the wheat market, seen some choppy trade around this support level. It did poke through it yesterday, but poked through it this morning. But as of right now, it is sitting a bit sideways. So we'll be watching for a break and close below some of these low levels. But you do have the even star still in place, suggesting to potentially be looking at some cash sales, maybe some hedges, risking at least at this point last week's highs. On the livestock side of things, box beef choice continues to move higher, select a bit lower on the day yesterday. On the hog side, carcass a bit higher. For the cattle contract, right now it looks like we do have an expanding channel that is taking place. So we'll be watching this higher 112 area, lower 113 area as some good upside resistance at this point. So looking for a break of that to continue an upwards motion. We'll see if that does take place. Again, like we talked about earlier, a lot of concern with the potential lockdown measures and what that does to these packing plants. So as of right now, we'll be watching for some good resistance right there. And as of right now, watching a uptrend that is forming as your support level going forward. For the hog side of things, we are still sideways. Broke through yesterday, broke through the lows and did recover. So as of right now, we'll be still watching this mid 64 level as your support level, looking for a close below that to reinstate a bearish move going forward. As of right now, you can expect to see a little bit of support coming in with the rejection of the lows yesterday, potentially looking at this higher 67 level as your upside resistance point. So any questions, please give me a call, 815-578-6177. But you guys have a great day out there.